Well, hello, boys and girls. And we have boys and girls. Devondra's in the house. John's in the house. Welcome to the live, everybody. Here we are back here on Tuesday the 4th for the Pearl of Wisdom Show,
May
the NHL Pearl of Wisdom
May
Show
the fourth
with
be with you.
Steele. You know what? I had Peyton on here. I forgot to take him
Oh
down. Everybody
no,
thinks you're going to
I'm
get
not
Peyton.
Peyton. I'm
No.
much older and much uglier and much less learned than Peyton. But
Yeah. Anyways. I changed it now. I just forgot about that because he was going to come on and then he had to.
yep, had to go and then but it's all good, man. It's all good. We got you covered. We got you covered. Thanks for having me on again, man. It's great to be here with everybody on the stream, on the chat. We're talking hockey, man. I'm
Yeah, big
excited.
2 hours
I'm
straight.
excited. How can you not be excited about talking hockey? Come on.
Exactly. That's what it's all about, my
That's
friend.
right.
Um, I guess the big story. Well, there's two kind of stories. One's not really a story. It just came out today that standings are ready to go. Oh, look at that. We have standings.
Wow.
Sweet. Lucic waived his no trade clause, which isn't really a story because I mean he'd be really stupid not to. It's not like anybody's going to pick him. It's not like Seattle's franchise is going to pick him up or something.
Should I be waving a little flag?
So
Can I wait? Yay! Big deal. Okay.
yeah, it didn't really
That's what I
matter,
mean.
right?
Like,
But
all right.
that I guess that with the segue into that is I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that. You know, a lot of players waving that
Oh,
nobody,
oh, oh,
every
oh.
people
I
know.
got you now. I got you now. Okay.
Yeah, like there's going to be a lot of players that waive their contracts that will affect what Seattle gets. And what I was looking when I was, I'm looking over it all the time, just kind of peering into,
That's
and
that's an
I don't
occupational
think
hazard.
these teams have definitely did their due diligence this time preparing for this expansion draft, and it looks like Seattle could be in a fair bit of trouble.
You okay? I think that teams are going to have a better understanding of who they can protect and who they can't.
I think they're going to better prepare for
Protecting those players.
their roster. They're
Right.
like they didn't take it serious enough last time.
I agree. But they can
Yeah.
only do so much as according to the rules. They can only protect either a select amount of defensemen, goalies, and forwards, or a select amount of forwards, and then
Uh,
with defensemen and goalie thrown in, depending on which
well,
way
they can
teams
carry
go.
10. They can protect 10 players if they do 7-3.
Right.
Other than that, they can drop. They can protect 8 players and protect whatever they want,
Okay.
except for goaltenders. They have to leave one goaltender in.
Right. Okay. So that's how it's going to have to work. And teams are going to be more prepared now, I think, for that particular situation now as compared to what happened when Vegas was picking. Okay. I still think Seattle is going to get some good people on the team. I still think there's going to be a lot of players that's going to be available for them that they will be able to have a relatively decent team that's going to be able to put out onto the ice and win games.
Hmm.
Okay. They're not going to be. I don't necessarily see them being like what Vegas was able to pull off. But Ron Francis is not that kind of a he's not that kind of a he doesn't build things like that. He builds things from the ground up.
Yeah,
He would much rather trade away those assets to get draft picks so that he could
yeah,
have this complete young team to where it's all his. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah. No, that just he's more likely to go that route for
Right.
sure. But even if he had the availability, he's just not going to have the availability. Like let's say it was Vegas. Francis was the one that was the general manager for Vegas.
Right.
He still could have got the Marchessaults, and he still got. Now he could have flipped them for first round picks or whatever.
True.
But he's not going to get that kind of talent to flip this time, is what I'm saying. So They're really making sure he's getting a pretty sparse roster this year.
That's true to a point. I agree. I agree with you at that.
Um,
That's true to a point.
did Yeah, I do want to move on to that. Uh, we will move on to the whole thing with Wilson, but um, yeah, There's not too many. From what I'm seeing, like Minnesota is a really good example. They can protect four defensemen and four forwards and still leave not too many people out for them to choose from. And he set it up perfect that way because he's got a whole bunch of free agents that he doesn't have to protect. Like he got Benino and stuff like that, and they're free agents.
See,
So
that's exactly what I think, Perlo. I think you hit it right there on the head, buddy. I think that's exactly what teams are going to do. They are going to do all they can to surround their protective arms around the players that they want to make sure that they can keep, and they will pick, fight, scrap, and claw to keep them players. And and
yeah,
and
they've
right,
already been doing it.
right.
They've had time to set it up. Where Vegas, it didn't appear like they had. They were like, you know what, we'll worry about that later. But they had not this time. They've been preparing this for a while now.
Well, they've known about this now for quite a long time as well too, and that there's been two off seasons, or there's gonna be,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, before this has happened. So I mean, I still think Seattle's going to get some good players. I still think they're going to be able to pick up some good players and some good assets. I still think they're going to
hmm
have some choice availabilities when it comes to certain other players, position wise. You know what I mean? You're not, because of the rule, each team has to leave at least one goalie out there.
yeah, but they've even did well at that. I was looking at goaltenders, and there's not going to be much available.
Right.
They've really
Slim pickings.
Teams have really even prepared for that.
Exactly.
So it's going to be tough for Seattle. I really think it's going to be tough for them. I think they're going to have to sign a few free agents to fill out their
Oh yeah,
roster
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
they're.
Anyways, okay, let's get into the big news of the day was, and somebody, who was it that brought it up here? By the way, thanks for everybody coming in. Look at all the people we got in here. Awesome.
Woo, all right.
Um, Wanting to talk about the Wilson situation that happened last night with the Rangers. And I probably am going to have an unpopular opinion about what happened.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'll leave it to you. What do you think? What do you think about what Wilson did last night?
Okay.
Did you watch it?
I
You
did
saw
not.
it,
I
obviously?
did not see what he did. Okay, and
Okay. You haven't seen a replay of it or
no, I
anything?
haven't seen a replay of it
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
It's on my list. And I'll be honest with you, based off of what he's done in the past, he already has a record for doing things. He's already been suspended this year for
Mm-hmm.
for violation of rules. Okay, and from everything that I've been seeing, let's just clarify something. First of all, Tom Wilson plays for the Capitals, not the
Flyers.
Flyers. Because,
Yeah, Tom Wilson.
yeah, because there was some Twitter foul up there where it said Tom Wilson, the Flyers forward,
Oh, really?
was fined for roughing or whatever, whatever. And it's like, wait a minute. He's not, he doesn't play for the Flyers. He plays for the Capitals.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to be honest with you.
Before you go on, I'll let you know. I don't know if you know this already. All he got was a $5,000 fine.
Which is the maximum fine that you can get per the CBA.
For money, yeah.
Yeah, for money wise,
Yeah.
right?
So he didn't get any games or nothing like that. He just
And
got a 5,000. Which,
was he assessed a penalty during the play?
yeah, he got a 10 minute. Yeah.
Oh, he did get a 10-minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so he obviously did a bad hit or hit somebody high or something. I don't know. I'm guessing. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. You'll really got to check it out. Okay.
I'm gonna check it
Okay.
out. I promise.
What he did was he basically he went into the scrum. He There was a guy, I can't remember who it was, Buknevich, I think it was, and he cross-checked him down. He wasn't looking at Buchnevich, and it looked really a lot worse than it was. He cross-checked him down on the ice, and it looked like he cross-checked him in the head into the ice, but he didn't. Okay, that's not what he did. Anyways,
So
then
okay, so
he
he
got
hit.
up,
So okay,
yeah,
so
and then
he
a couple guys jumped on him, and he started pounding on Buchnevich because they jumped on him.
okay,
And then he kind of got up, and Panarin came and jumped on his back to try to get him off, right?
okay.
And then he ragdolled Panarin, pretty much. Like he turned around and ragdolled Panarin. Now,
Who Tom Wilson
people are
did?
losing their crap calling him a bully and all of this stuff like this and everything for what he did. Okay, I'm I'm trying to see it from the modern perspective. But I'll tell you right now, if I was Wilson at when I played, I probably would have did something similar if I had the size and physicality that he has. All right, that this was just normal procedure back in the day. So I don't like if somebody jumps if you go and jump on somebody's back, you can't complain when they turn around and ragdoll you. If you can't if you can't if you're not willing to take punches, don't jump on people's backs, right?
Okay, so
That's
I
the way I
see.
look at it.
Okay, so what Wilson did was completely wrong. Okay, and what
You
he
think it
did
was
was
complete? What was wrong?
what he did when because I'm watching it right now, and he punched the guy while he was down. Right, Wilson
Yeah.
did. Right, and then he was holding his head down, and then he punched him. Right, I'm like, all right, so that's not cool. Then a bunch of guys jump on Wilson, and then Wilson turns around and defends himself.
Hmm.
Okay,
I
so
wasn't. Didn't he punch the guy like when punch the guy like people were already on him when he punched him?
like people,
Buchnevich
yeah, the Rangers guys, there was some Rangers guys that were on that were
on
trying to
on
pull
Wilson
Wilson
already.
off, right, and he hit Buchnevich, who was on the ground or on the ice, and he
Right.
was holding him
Yeah.
down. I mean, I
Yeah. He's
watched
holding him down.
holding him
Right.
down, and then he hit him, right.
Right.
So right, okay, that right there is whatever he gets is whatever he gets, because that is
He
totally uncalled for.
he got a $5,000 fine.
Okay, and a 10-minute game
Okay.
misconduct,
Yeah.
right, for that.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
But there's people that are calling for his head. Uh,
You know what? When you come in to defend a player that's being taken down or something like that, that's a fine line. Okay.
let me see. Let me
You
see.
better either have the stones to defend that player or whatever else you need, because if you don't, then you're going to see what happened with Tom Wilson. Basically just said, "Nuh-uh, you're not doing that to me." You know what I'm saying? So, gosh,
Okay,
man,
I
I
want to
don't.
look at this. I want to look at this again.
Yeah, I was just watching it, and I'll tell you what Tom Wilson did was bad to what he did to Buchnevich, who was laying there on the ground after the end of the play, and he was holding him down and by either the neck or the head, and then he hit him. Now, if I was a player on the opposite team and I saw you doing that to one of my players, yeah, I'm gonna jump you. Okay, which is what happened, right? You're watching it.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Okay, so you see him punch the guy in the back of the head while he's laying down. Then you see a bunch of Rangers guys jump on top of him,
Yeah,
right? And then there's a big scrum with all these guys skating around, and he ends up dancing with Panarin because
Panarin.
Panarin
Yeah,
because Panarin was one of the guys that was rushing in that jumped on top of him while he was hitting Buchnevich.
he literally jumped on his back.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, and Wilson popped up and was like, "You're not doing that to me," and hit him. So, do you fine him twice? Do you
No,
think
like
he's defended himself?
Yeah, people think that because of what he did on the ice with Buchnevich and the fact that he ragdolled Panarin. Okay, he hit a guy when he was down. He deserves 10 minutes for that or whatever. Okay, that's cool. Whatever, I get that. All right. He hit a guy. He punched a guy while he was down on the ice. He deserves 10 minutes for that. Now that being said, when I played, if somebody did that, you probably didn't get 10 minutes. But the next time you step on the ice, you're dropping them, right? Simple as that, right? Like that's just the way you're going to be dropping them with whoever it is. Uh, that's what you're going to do, and maybe not even that. Like what could have happened there is the guy punching him. They're trying to see how they're trying to rip him off there. They're trying to rip him off of Buchnevich. If somebody did that when a guy was down when I played, nobody's ripping off anybody. They're punching him in the freaking head right there. Like
Yeah,
you are
right.
getting ragdolled
Like,
right there
like,
on your knees.
yeah, I was just gonna
You're
say,
going to
yeah,
get pummeled. What are you trying to
yeah,
rip them off for? You don't rip them off. You punch him in the head.
yeah.
Trying to rip him off, jump on his back. Like Panarin shouldn't even be handling that stuff to begin with. But yeah, you punch him right in the head. You know
That's a
why they didn't punch him in the
softball
head?
that's
Because
served up
Wilson's
right
going to
there.
turn around and ragdoll you. That's why. That's
That's a home run there, boy. That's a home
sorry.
run.
Was it? That's the way the game was, and they're trying to take that out of the game. So I don't know how to answer that question because that's the way it used to be.
Well, let me say
So
this. All right, let's look at this. I understand they're trying to take the violence out of hockey, but this is what happens when you take the violence out of hockey because you don't have guys that, you know, they're
Well, wait a
punished for
sec. Wait a
defending
sec.
themselves.
Kunselin asked if he was going to get suspended for the rest of the season. No, he got a $5,000 fine. He doesn't
He
deserve to
didn't
get
even get
suspended there.
suspended. He didn't get suspended. He
No,
just got a $5,000 fine.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and a ten
Yeah.
minute game misconduct. You know what? I'm here to tell you. I would not want to be playing. They're not playing the Rangers anymore, are they?
Somebody said that they're playing again right away here.
Really? If that's the case, I would not want to be. I would not want to be Tom Wilson if I was him playing up against the Rangers because there's a there might be a bit of a mark on you, I believe, for that game, sir.
Yeah. Elliot says that Perlo, that was unacceptable. Fine, I don't care. I don't. Suspending a person or whatever is not the way you solve that problem. It's unacceptable. The next time you get in the ring, you beat them up. That's it.
Well,
You take him out. And when you go into corners, guess what? He gets 6 inches in the ribs. That's what happens. You're gonna get
okay,
hurt, man. You're gonna get
okay,
hurt. You
but
do that. You know why Wilson can do that? Because he can't get hurt. When I played, you did that. You got hurt the next game, not just in a fight. Every time somebody was around you, the refs would kind of pretend they're not watching.
yeah, but that's not how that is anymore, though, Perlo.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
not how
but
that
that's the way
is.
it should be. It's the way it should be.
Well, okay. Well, the way it
So
should
they
be and the
they
way
want
it
to do it the
is.
way they are now. You can have your Wilsons like this, and you're going to have stuff like this happen. This is one of the few times I agree with Don Cherry. I agree with Don Cherry there. You let people take care of it on the ice, not
See, now that
suspensions
I
and
agree
blah blah
with.
blah.
That's now that I agree with. See, I would much rather they allow the players to take care of it on the ice because if they were able to police themselves, then you wouldn't see this kind of stuff and you wouldn't see guys like Tom Wilson getting away with stuff like that. And
Exactly.
also and I'll say something else too. It happened a lot with the Flyers. I watched it starting with last year, where guys were taking shots at Flyers players like Giroux, Couturier, TK, things like that, were taking shots at players, and there was no repercussion
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
Flyers, right? So when you're taking shots at the star players and there's no repercussions, guess what? You're going to continue to do that because there's no repercussions. And here's going to be the worst part. Everybody else now has tape on all that and is seeing all that, right?
Yeah.
And here's how you take care of Tom Wilson. You go up there and you take care of business on the ice, the way it should
Yeah.
be done, right? And
Yeah.
then you don't have to worry about Tom Wilson no more. Okay?
Yeah.
Seriously. Look, I'm not
Uh,
advocating to take somebody out. I'm not advocating for you to, hurt somebody or things like that, but I'm advocating for the players to police themselves on the ice.
And that's what I just said. What I just said is what used
Yes.
to happen. That's how we policed ourselves on the ice. And the referees, when it came to guys like Tom Wilson, the next game that was played, he knew exactly what Tom Wilson did. And guess what? If he got 6 inches in the ribs when he went in the corner, the referee didn't maybe see that.
That's the other thing I agree with too with you there on that one, Kyle Mercer. I'm going to agree on this one too, 100%. Why are you finding a guy a piddly little 5 grand when they make how many millions of dollars a year?
Because
Look,
it's just a statement to say we don't like that. That's all it is. Like it
okay,
really, it
but
basically
if
is
you're
nothing.
going
It's
to
nothing.
do it, but if you're
Yeah.
going to do it, then do it where it hurts. Okay? Look, if you're going to take the fighting and all that stuff out of hockey, then by having a piddly little $5,000 fine for hitting somebody like that on the ice and a 10-minute game misconduct, big deal. I'll pay that
Because
five
it
thousand
isn't a
dollar
big
fine
deal,
every
and that's
week.
the reason. That's the reason why it's there because they only want to pretend like they're doing it.
So, like
They
I
don't want to
said,
actually do it. They're only pretending like they don't want it.
if
It's
you're
just
going
to
to
say
take
that they did something.
I okay, if you're gonna take the violence out of the game, then make these fines
Right.
$150,000
But they don't
or
want to take the
or
violence out of the
or
game. They don't.
$1.2 million or whatever. Make them substantial enough to where a player has to go, wow, man, I
Yeah, but
guess
they
I
don't want. Yeah, and that's the thing. You can tell they don't want to take the violence out of the game. They just want to look like they want to. That's all.
well,
And do the minimum possible. They don't want to take it out. That's it's what hockey. It's what hockey's all about. Anyways, we should get to our games because we're losing some people.
How
I
about
said it
that? There
wasn't
was
going to
our
be a very.
commentary. Did you guys like
I
our commentary? Look,
I
we're
didn't think it was going
I'm
to be a
not.
very popular opinion. What I had to say about that.
Yeah, but you know what though, man? Look, we're both from that same kind of cloth where we think that it should be taken care of on the ice. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
taken care of in these, player meetings with safety protocol people and all this other garbage. Okay,
Yeah.
and if you're gonna fine a player, then don't fine him a piddly little 5 grand. Do it substantially where it hurts.
Yeah,
Okay.
what's it? The union wouldn't allow that, and somehow they just the way they worked it out, and they worked
It's
it out
just
for a reason. Look, yeah, don't make us look stupid, is what you're saying, and that's basically what a $5,000 fine does. Is makes it, it's nothing. It's nothing. So,
Well, there
but
you have it,
yeah.
folks. Boy, I'll tell you what though, there was a lot of games yesterday, man. So we better get rolling.
So we do have to get to the games for sure. Okay, a
All
lot of
right,
craziness happened yesterday. I don't know. It's everything's going wacko.
1, 2, 3, 4 final overtime games.
Yeah.
No, three.
And
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 final overtime games. So, in fact, the first one was just that very one.
what is it? The first one I have is the Stars and Panthers. Is that what you
That's
have?
correct. That is correct,
And
Mundo.
what
That
was the
was a
score on that?
5-4 overtime.
Yeah, I should have put that down as an overtime. I was so
Panthers
confident of that.
Panthers win that game. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one of my people asked the other day when we were on the show, like last week or something, who my
Yeah.
favorite player is today. And I didn't really have an answer. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you somebody who I've been really keeping an eye on and watching the last couple of months is that
Yeah.
Huberdeau from Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. You like Huberto?
Oh
Yeah. Yeah. He's
my
a 100 point
gosh.
player already in the league, and he looks like he's just getting better for
When
sure.
he does that, he's done it twice now this year. That no look spinorama, perfect tape to tape pass for a
Yeah.
goal,
He's
not
an
just once
amazing.
but twice. Yeah, I
Yeah, he's
mean,
an amazing playmaker. Amazing player.
wow. All right, so there you have it. Panthers
I don't
5,
know if I've
Stars 4.
seen. I don't know if I've seen a left wing playmaker quite as good as him. He might be one of the best ever left wing playmakers I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what. I would have to put because Leclerc, Johnny Leclerc for the Flyers was good, and you know who else was really good, but I can't remember if he played center or not. Was oh, I just had his name at the top of my lips.
Like centers like Adam Oates and all of those kind of guys, they
Yeah, but
were
he's a
incredible.
center though. Yeah, but
Yeah,
he
he
was a
was a
center.
center. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was a center. Yeah, like there was a lot of great centers that were
Messier,
playmakers.
Messier, but he was a
Messi was a
center.
center. He did play left wing
But he
sometimes
did
though.
okay, and he was a great playmaker though,
Yeah,
especially
off
with
the left
Gretzky.
wing or center, either way. Yeah,
Right. And you know who else
absolutely.
was a really good one at doing that? When Yager played with Lemieux,
Yeah, yeah. There's a good one.
that was a good
Yeah,
combination there,
that's a
man.
good. That's a good one there. Yeah, I think he played right wing most, but yeah, but there's a good example of an amazing playmaking winger for sure. He was incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And and
Absolutely.
and and unfortunately he hasn't played this year, but the Tampa Bay Lightning's um Nikita Kucherov, right? Or
Kucherov, yeah, he was a right
Kucherov,
winger too.
but he's a right
I
winger,
was,
but
yeah,
still though, I mean, oh
he was a great
my
playmaker too. Yeah.
gosh.
I'm just trying to think
Dripping.
of specifically left wingers, like specifically left wingers. I'll have to come to me as we get going, and maybe some will pop in my head, but I can't think of too many specifically left wingers. I think he may be the best I've ever
Who was
seen
the guy that
off the
used to
left wing.
play for Buffalo?
Dave Andrechuk, he wasn't a
LaFontaine.
playmaker.
LaFontaine.
Center. Alexander Alexander
McGillney?
McGillney, yeah, but he was a shooter. He wasn't really what you call a playmaker, but
Okay.
he was a shooter. Alexander
Okay.
McGillney, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're really going back
Pavel
here.
Bury was a winger,
Oh,
but he was
all
more
right.
of a
Yeah.
shooter
Okay.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was more of a shooter.
He
Anyways, we
was.
got a lot of games to get to,
All
but
right. So
that's a
Panthers
good
and Stars.
conversation for another day. Yeah, Jason Robertson just keeps on going, man. The kid's freaking nuts. And Tyler Sagan was back in the lineup for the first game of the year and scored a goal last night.
Right.
But then it was Alexander Barkov. Well, we were going to be doing a video on some. We were supposed to do it today, but it got canceled. But on Selkie award winners and stuff like that, he might pop into the conversation. He's been
Oh, we'll still be
fantastic.
doing those shows, just not today. We'll still be doing those
Yeah,
shows just not today.
for sure
But
we will.
yeah. 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 I'll tell you what. This game here had a lot of bite. This game here was exciting. This
Oh,
game here
Mikkel
was.
Renberg. Lauren said Mikkel Renberg. That's a good one.
See, I was thinking of that, right? Because, uh, but Leclerc played more left wing, and Renberg played more right wing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That is
Okay,
true.
and I did already mention Leclerc.
Yeah, and like I said, he wasn't really a classic. I'm just trying to
No,
think who played. 'Cause like Yari Curry was a right winger, and he was more of a shooter in Edmonton.
right?
Interesting. It's funny. Most of the left wingers.
I'm
Uh,
sure this
d-
in very super intelligent uh, chat group will fill us in on some other players that we missed or didn't think of.
I'm
But
sure. Okay. So, anyways,
all right,
that was a huge game. That was a
yeah,
huge game.
and Spencer
Dallas
Knight,
needed that one, and they didn't get it.
Spencer Knight, Spencer Knight.
Yeah. He got the win. He didn't have the greatest numbers there. Uh, I didn't see many of the goals that went in against Spencer Knight. I don't know how well he did, but I mean, he got a win. A win is a win, right?
There was 29 shots from the Panthers and 43 from the uh, 43 from the Panthers, 29 shots for the Stars.
For the Stars, yeah.
So he faced 29 shots or 32, 33 shots.
And Hudobin got lit up early. That was kind of the problem, and
Yeah,
he's been doing that this year.
yeah,
Goes on a good run, and then he craps the bed every once in a while.
yeah, yeah. He had he had 25 saves out of 29 shots total. So there you go.
Yeah, not bad, but I don't really know what kind of shots they were or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But this Florida lineup just is getting better and better all the time. I
Keeps on
watched a lot
crunching.
of that game. The Denisenko kid is getting better every game I watch him. Uh, He was a first round pick 2 years ago, I believe.
Right.
Already in the lineup now. Frank
And
Vetrano. Anything that Gusev comes over from New Jersey and he's putting up points on the board, he couldn't do nothing in New Jersey.
right.
Anything that Q touches turns to gold this year.
I'm with you.
It's,
I'm also going to point out too that the Stars had their rookie score another goal last night as well too. Robertson scored.
Robert, yeah, I did. Yeah, I
Yeah, he
pointed that out.
scored
Yeah, yeah,
scored his 16th goal too. So that's a Calder Trophy
yeah.
contention right there. So
Right.
all right,
All
my
right.
man.
Let's get into some more funky stuff
All
here.
right. So the next
How
game
the heck
is
does the Islanders lose to a Hauser?
well,
That's the next one, right?
yeah, yep.
Yeah. Oh
Islanders
wait,
two,
what was the
Sabers
score?
four. Islanders
Did
two,
we look at the
Sabers
score for
four.
the Dallas Florida game? It was 4-3, right?
4-2. 4 to
For
2.
no for this no for the Dallas game.
Oh,
Four
Dallas game
five
was
four
5
five four.
4. Yeah, Dallas game was
Nobody
5
had
4.
5-4.
Okay.
And it was split 50-50 between the two, but nobody had. Oh yes, somebody did have 5-4. Panthers. Bill T. Bill T.
All
Nails
right.
it. That's
Bill
quite the
T.
score to nail
Cool,
too.
cool.
It wasn't OT. He didn't call the OT, but he got the 5-4, so he gets five
Hey, gets the
points.
points. Gets the points.
Apparently, our points have been updated, so we'll do that after the break. We'll show everybody how everybody did, so that's cool. But how does this happen, dude? How does the Islanders lose to the Sabres with an ECHL goaltender?
Well, maybe they were skating the night off.
I don't
I
know.
don't get it. I just I don't get that. It just seems like Buffalo is that oddball team that nobody can beat, but they can't win the games they're supposed to win. But they just, they come out and blow the Flyers out 9-1. They
Yeah,
come
and they
out
can
and beat Boston.
and they beat the Rangers every time they play them.
Right. It's like, what? Okay, so
They
whatever.
got up 2-0 against Buffalo. Now, one thing I got to say, I shouldn't talk like this because Buffalo did play really well last night.
Yeah.
They did play really well. They are getting better and better all the time. And it looked like they just kind of they got up 2-0 and then started playing back on their heels. And Buffalo didn't give up. And you didn't see that all year from Buffalo.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
they didn't give
all
up.
right.
They just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. And
That's
a
good.
lot of that has to do with um, Mr. Reinhart, Sam Reinhart. Holy crap, this guy looks like a beast all of a sudden. 24th and 25th goal last night. They've been playing him as a winger almost from the time he started in the league. If you remember, Sam Reinhart was drafted after, I believe it was after Draisaitl,
Okay.
right after Draisaitl in that draft, and
Okay.
just before Sam Bennett was drafted by the Calgary Flames in that
Yeah, because
draft.
I heard really good things about this Reinhardt. You know what I mean? Holy moly.
Yeah, he's a super intelligent kid, like
25
super
goals already?
incredibly high IQ, and he's got most of those in the last since Hall got traded. Like he's just
Wow.
been banging and banging ever since they put him up the middle. He's like, yeah, I'm not leaving here. He likes that center position. But everybody, Tage Thompson's potted a couple since then. Ristolainen has looked the best he's ever looked in his career. So I'm thinking that this Granado character is probably coming back next year. What do you figure?
Maybe. Sure seems like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you know what else too? When Hall left, everybody was like, oh yeah, yeah. And then Buffalo started playing a little better, and Hall has fit in really well with the
yeah.
next game that we're going to talk about.
It was a great trade for both. But you know
I
what,
agree.
Mike Hauser, I know you're watching. I know now that you're in the NHL, I'm sure everybody's told you about the Pearl of Wisdom show, and you're on here right now listening. Congratulations for your first win, my friend. As much as I certainly didn't think you were going to do it, you certainly did. He did not have. He had played more ECHL games than AHL games before last night. by
Welcome to
a
the NHL.
considerable amount. And he comes in and wins his first game played in the NHL, stopping 34-36
Yeah. Welcome to the
against
NHL, kid.
crazy, right? But anyways, it was actually a really awesome game to watch. I couldn't break away from it. I really liked. It's fun watching this turnaround from Buffalo. These
Wow.
guys just turning it around and playing, uh, with confidence and stuff like that. It's fun to watch. Okay, let's get to the next game.
Okay. Next game is our buddy, our the goat's favorite team. He should be on top of the world. We'll find that out later tonight when we hop on when I hop on the broadcast with him tonight. We're
Yeah,
gonna do the
the
other side of the
Bruins.
Flyers game.
Right.
But the Bruins took care of the Devils last night, 3-0.
Yeah.
Bergeron had a goal. Richie had a goal, and I'll tell you what, man, this team just has looked really good. Once Hall's come over, Rask was in net. He stopped every shot last night.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Devils that this is what the Devils that everybody was expecting. They had nothing. They had nothing last night.
Yeah, it was Boston's too strong right now. I
That's
didn't
what I.
mention Weichel had the Sabres. Sorona had the Sabres 3-2. He was the closest. And Devondra had the Sabres 3-0. So pretty fancy. Devondra hits a lot now.
I'm telling you, man, all these people in here are really good, man. I should
They
just
are.
wait until after I see their picks and then make mine.
Yeah.
That's what I should
Like
do.
like a
I
Reinhardt
know, I'm reading
cowboy.
that too. I was reading that too,
Boston's going to do
like a
some
writer.
damage in the playoffs. I
I
agree.
agree, Mercer. I agree
Uh,
100% for sure.
Serrano did have Buffalo. You certainly did, sir.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
3-2.
anyways, so yeah, the
All right.
Bruins, yeah, the Devils just didn't have much to offer in that game. The Bruins are playing with a lot of confidence. They are
And
playing with a
they punched their
purpose.
ticket.
Yeah,
They
they
punched their
didn't.
ticket last night.
Yeah, they didn't just come in and say, it's the Devils or whatever. They played well. I don't even think the Devils played poorly. The Bruins just played really well.
Exactly. And historically this season, the Devils have played well against Boston. Okay. But
Yeah.
last night it just wasn't happening. Boston punched their ticket to the playoffs once again. They
Yeah.
scored 2 points, so they got the 1 point required for them in order to make the playoffs. So
Hmm.
there you have it, folks. That pretty much sets the East up to be Boston, Islanders, Washington, and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Um, okay. So yeah, it wasn't really much to talk about that. That was just Boston just destroyed that game. So we'll go over to the Capitals and Rangers. Nobody had 3-0. Mercer had 4-0 Bruins.
Okay.
Yeah, and 6-2, 4-2. So nobody had the score exactly right. So Capitals Rangers now. That was an interesting game.
Yeah, that was an interesting game, I think. Some stuff happened in that game that we've
Yeah,
already discussed
we've already gone
previously.
over. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. 6-3 was the final, and that one Capitals win 6-3. And the one thing that I do want to mention in this game, aside from everything that's happened and all that other garbage,
yeah,
is that Ovechkin only played like a shift,
yeah. I
uh,
noticed that. I was going to
and
mention
then
that here. I didn't
and
know what
then
happened.
didn't show up for the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they might be like shutting him down and only letting him come out and play a little bit until the playoffs come.
Well, he was on. I didn't even know he was going to be in at all because he
Well,
was
he
supposedly still injured. So
right,
whatever the
okay.
injury was, obviously didn't feel right, and they just said, you know what, don't risk it or whatever.
Yeah, because we got a little bit of time yet before the playoffs. We're in, so they don't need to play him. Apparently,
Yeah.
they've had a pretty good record so far this year without Ovechkin. Last time I checked, I believe it was uh, uh, 6-0-1. I think is the record with without Ovechkin on the team, or maybe they did lose one. I'm not sure, but for the
Yeah,
most part, they don't really necessarily need him.
yeah. I think a lot of the times when you get like big guys go out of the lineup like that, they play for their big guys. They don't want their, especially a guy like Ovechkin who wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah,
As a coach, you want to say like, are we going to play this game, or do we don't want to make this guy feel like crap because he's not in the lineup? And there's
exactly.
a lot of ways that you can go that, and guys go out
Yeah,
and play real hard. Not to mention, guys get an opportunity they normally don't get, right?
exactly.
Because
Yep,
Ovechkin takes the power, so they don't. They want to take hold of that chance.
exactly.
Um, yeah. So, but it was a back and forth game, and we had that happen. Besides that event, um, it was an exciting game to watch. It was a fun game. It was a good. I'm glad to see actually the Rangers play the way they did last night. It looks like they're getting out of their funk and learning that you can't be depressed because crap happens, or it's you got to learn how to get out of your funk and believe in yourself and get back in the ring. They had a
Yeah,
few games that they should have won, and they looked down. They looked like
yeah.
they were really down on themselves, and that happens with a young team. And last night it looked like they came back and got together as a team and said, you know what, let's just be the best we can be right now. So that was good to see.
I'm with you. I've been impressed with how Lafreniere's played this year.
Me
I've
too.
been
Me
yeah,
too.
I've been impressed with that. In spite of everything, I thought he's played very well. So, all
Yeah,
right,
absolutely. I think he's
the
been
next game.
absolutely fantastic for a young guy his age.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The next game is
Well, what was the score of that game? 5-4,
six to
right?
three, six to
Six to
three.
three. Six
Capitals
to three.
6-3.
Yeah, it's funny I'm saying that, they lost 6-3, but I like the way the Rangers played. It was just, I like the glue that they played with. They lost the
Okay,
game, but they
so
lost the
then,
game together.
so
You know
then,
what I mean?
so then, I'm very interested to hear what you're going to say about this next game
First of
because the
all, H&R
Flyers.
had 5-3 caps, and that was the closest one.
Okay,
Everybody had the caps. Mercer had the Rangers. So, okay. Oh,
sorry,
the next
Mercer.
one, I don't know, Voodoo.
Because
Just Smith
no,
obviously had a bad
no, no,
game.
no, they changed. They changed
Yeah, he
goalies
got
after the
hurt.
first
He got
period.
hurt after allowing 4 goals. So he
Oh,
was probably injured while he was playing, and he finally
okay.
just said, "I can't do it."
Because at the start of the
So
second period, Jari came in.
yeah,
Okay.
just voodoo.
Well, so maybe I should predict Flyers to lose 7-0 or 22-0 every game because apparently when I do that, they come out and kick
Well,
butt.
don't do that now because I don't want the Flyers winning
Right? No,
now.
I'm with you. No, I'm with. It's like, where is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah,
We haven't scored more. The Flyers have not scored more than 3 goals in the last 13 games.
yeah.
Of their
And
last 33 games, they haven't scored more than 3 goals in about half of them.
sooner or later, you're going to come up to an injured goaltender or something. It's bound to happen eventually, and it happened last night. Uh,
Okay. But
and
but Jari came in. He's supposed to be their number one guy.
Well, yeah, he's pooped you too, but so you
There
come in a
there was an
cold
empty
guy.
netter in there too. So
Yeah, was there an empty netter too? Why did they
yeah.
pull their goaltender for?
But
I
there was
didn't.
2 minutes and 31 seconds left in the game, and they
And
pulled
they were down
Jari.
6-2, and they pulled their goaltender. What the
Yeah.
heck?
With two and a
You know
half
what?
minutes left in the game.
I'm going to plug one of our guys. Love him, the professor.
Oh yeah,
Okay, Shane Goss is playing well this year.
dude. I look. He called it. He said
He
it
did.
right from.
Guy's a
He called
genius.
it.
That's
He
why we
said
call him
it.
the professor,
That's
man.
why we call him the professor. But look, I'm going to say this too. I have always been a fan of Shane Gossespierre.
Hmm.
I would have much rather have seen Shane Gossespierre play in all 56 games instead of number 61.
Who got 22 minutes last night. This is where it was voodoo land.
Okay,
Braun played 22 minutes last night.
riddle
Oh,
me
that
this.
Braun 61, right?
Yes. Riddle me this,
Yeah.
Batman. Okay? Tell me something. How is it that one of our best, one of the Flyers' best D men in Shane Gossesbear and Sam Moran and Haig and all these other guys and Myers are in and out of the lineup every other night, can't stay in the lineup, and yet Braun played every single game this year?
Yeah,
What
I don't
is
know.
I, and then when Scott came out, the chairman of the Flyers the other day came out with his interview that he had and said that I have faith in the management and I have faith in the coaching staff and
Yeah.
um, put the onus on the players and all. So I'm like, okay. And you're telling me that you have faith in all these people and there's not going to be any kind of change. Well, if that's going to be the case, then you're just going to be a perennial loser then, because this
Yeah.
is what you're dealing with,
I
right? This is a
guess.
team
I
you
mean,
got.
I don't know. You got to say what you got to say in a certain situation. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's probably nothing more interesting than what happens, and if they just do the status quo, okay. We'll continue the voodoo, and then we got three more games to do. This is something that happens every single time on this channel when we talk smack about a goaltender. Lion was in net last night.
You know what?
Lion.
I don't care. I
We were
do
talking
not
smack
care.
about Lion last night.
I don't care. I don't care. He still should not be on an NHL
Oh
roster.
no, no, of course not. But I'm just saying the one. I didn't really talk. I guess I have talked about it. But as soon as I talk smack about a goaltender, he plays well the next game. I know
I'm gonna say this.
he's
I'm
not
gonna
an
say
NHL
this. Yeah,
he's not an
yeah,
NHL
yeah.
goalie.
He's not an NHL goalie, and the shots that he was facing, it's like the team actually played in front of him. Like the defense actually stopped those point blank shots.
Yeah,
You know what I
Pittsburgh
mean?
just didn't have it last night all the way
Yeah.
around. So
I mean, there was nothing there for Pittsburgh. Crosby had the one goal, right? And that's it. I think that's who scored the goal for them. Yeah, Crosby had the one goal, had the first goal, and even that was kind of a
yeah,
goal. You know what I mean? He didn't face a lot of tough shots from
yeah,
Pittsburgh. So, all
no,
right,
but it still
seven
was
to
Lion
two,
winning. I didn't. I didn't.
Flyers 7-2.
If you would have asked, if you asked me to 7-2, nobody had 7-2. If you asked me, well, who are you going to pick when Hauser and Lyon is in net, and you tell me that they're not going to win, I'm going to be like, you're crazy. But,
And you're gonna
anyways,
pick Hauser.
I'm not picking Hauser.
Right.
Okay.
Blackhawks and Hurricanes.
First of all, 7-2.
7-2 Flyers win over the Penguins.
Somebody had 7-2 Penguins. This Perlo guy had 7-2 Penguins.
Really? I had 7-0 Penguins, right?
7-1.
7-1.
And
All right.
H&R had the Flyers.
Well, yeah. H&R,
Of course,
CL.
CL
CL
always
has
has the
Flyers.
Flyers.
Joey had the Flyers, right?
Joey had the Flyers, and that was it. Serrano had the Flyers, and that was it.
Yeah, man.
So Blackhawks, Canes,
Yeah,
Flyers
Blackhawks
will
and Hurricanes 5-2 final on that.
Voodoo Child for the Seattle Kraken's team. That'd be interesting. Yeah. So it was 5-2. Everybody had the Canes. Mercer had 5-2. Mercer coming out again. Boom. Of course, Mercer's got it.
Like I said, I'm
Mercer.
just gonna wait for Mercer to make his picks, and then I'm just gonna copy him.
I gotta go. I gotta go wig shopping here
I'm
too.
telling you, dude. You do. Find one with pigtails.
I don't
Find one.
know. We're gonna go
Find one
looking
with
at one.
pigtails.
I've been busy with other stuff. I haven't had a chance to do it.
I
But
know.
I will. I'll
We'll
get to
get you
it.
some. All right.
Everybody had the Canes, so not much
Okay.
to go on that. The Canes, just like I was saying, like I really kind of figured that team's too young. Chicago. It's going to be great eventually, but you got too many guys on that team that have never played in the NHL, and you're playing in a condensed schedule as a rookie. Yeah, it's too much to ask.
Not happening.
And
Anyway,
and
but
on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Canes I got my pick from going out of the Central. I'll say it right now. I think they make it out of the Central.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Uh,
I'm
I
with
don't
you.
like Tampa. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to do
I'm
it.
with you, dude. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right. Uh,
Preds versus Jackets.
this was probably this was a final overtime game. It was 4-3 Predators. It was a final overtime game, 4-3 Preds.
Avatar. Boom. Avatar nails it. Hype in the chat for Avatar.
Man,
The more ridiculous the wig, the
I
better the
know. I
gameplay.
saw it. Yeah,
It's
right.
really easy to say when you're not the one putting it on, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's
No,
also pretty easy
you're
to say
right.
too when he doesn't really have much hair. So it's really not going to matter because anything that you put on your head is going to
Well,
be a
that's right.
huge.
Anything. I could put a feather on the top of my
That's
head,
what
and
I mean.
that could be called a wig. Really. Ah. If I find, maybe I'll see if I can go. I'll see if I can find a box of them.
There you go. A box
Yeah,
of.
somebody's selling a box of wigs, and then I'll
Oh
have
my
like a
gosh.
different one every day.
Oh no, no. Okay. All right.
Lauren knew the Preds would win.
Okay.
So that we had Serrano, Mercer. Anyways, Avatar nailed it. He was the only one that got the score, and everybody had Preds except H&R reached for the fence. Reached for the fences and went for
Blue
the
Jackets.
Jackets, but they didn't happen.
Okay.
Not much to
Um,
say about that game. It was closer than I thought it would be.
yeah.
I really
I'll tell you what though, this Soros
playing
goaltender from
well.
Nashville. Yeah,
He is playing dynamite ever since
I
coming back
agree.
from injuries. I don't know what his numbers are to tell you the honest truth, but I could probably find out. But he it's like ever since he came back from injury, he's just been absolutely crazy. And John Hines, a lot of people took a lot of flack before the season started. Took a little while for everybody to get going. But show me a good goaltender, and quite often I'll show you a good coach.
Right,
Saros hasn't never played as well as he has here, and that's saying a lot because Laviolette's a good coach too. But
right. But he's not coaching
um,
the Preds anymore.
no, he's not. But Saros was not doing great under Laviolette.
Oh,
He
okay, I
was doing
got you.
okay. And now Hines, it might be a coincidence. Saros was also a young goaltender, so he's just coming
All
into
right.
his own too, right? But
Yeah,
he's this year it seems right now everything just like Q, everything Hines is touching in Nashville's working out just
working out.
fine.
Yeah, it is for
Emil
sure.
Benstrom got 3 goals, a natural hat trick last night for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Wow. There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't think
So
Q
we got
scores
a
3 goals
we
too
got a
often.
lightning round here, man. We got quite a few games left, and we only have a couple
Okay.
minutes.
Oh
So
shoot, that's right, we do. Okay, do it.
okay,
Leafs Canadians.
final 3-2. Canadians 3, Maple Leafs 2. Boy, did Canadians need that win.
Bill T got 5 pointer on that. Was it OT?
Ooh, yes, it was.
7. Bill T with the
Oh, Bill
shutter.
T. Boo. Yeah, man.
Woo!
All right. Uh,
Nice.
nice. Good one. By the way, everybody was correct on this next game. Everybody picked the Sens. Guess who won?
Yeah, except for me, I picked the Jets.
Did I probably pick the Jets
CL
too? I
picked
don't
the
know.
Jets.
Yeah.
You picked the Jets. Avatar beat. What was the score again?
Two to
Two
one
one, right?
Sens. Yep.
Nobody had 2-1 Sens. Really disappointing the Jets this right now. They're having a tough time there in Jets land. But we got to go to all the games, so let's do the
Okay.
last one.
Ducks 1, Blues 3. That was the final. Blues 3, Ducks 1. Final.
Everybody had the Blues but me. I took the Ducks. 3-1. Nobody had 3-1, really? Mercer had 2-1. He was close.
Okay.
And Avatar had 3-2,
Okay.
but that was it.
Okay.
Uh, Knights. We will talk a little bit about the Knights in the Wild. That was a cool game.
Yeah, that was a cool game, and the Wild win that one 6-5.
Yeah, nobody had 6-5, but
Oh, in fact, I bet
uh,
you a lot of people picked the Wild on that one though too, didn't they?
yes, they did. I had the Wild. It was just Mercer had Vegas. And I think you did, yeah, and that was it. And the closest was Hockey News Reports with 5-4. But
Wow.
what a gutsy win. That was a killer game. A lot of fun. Not a coach's nightmare.
Yeah, right.
I
12,
was
11,
watching it like
11
they
goals.
weren't they weren't playing they weren't playing defense at all.
I was
It
just going to
it
say there was
almost
no defense.
Yeah, it's almost like Everson said to Minnesota, you know what, we're not going to beat these guys with defense. So you might as well just go out there and run and gun it. And that's what they did, and they they did, and they what was it? It was
Worked out all right.
2-1, 2-2. Yeah, Vegas was up 4-2,
Okay.
and then uh, Minnesota came back in the third and just crushed it. Kirill Kaprizov got his 24th goal. What a fun team! Two fun teams to watch,
It
though. I
was
love
it
watching
was
offensive
it was
guys
five
hockey
to
like
it
that,
was
right?
5-3. It
Five
was
to
five
three.
to three at the end of the second,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
Minnesota came out and scored three unanswered goals in the third to take the win. So there you
Yeah.
go.
And this is not like some sort of garbage bin goaltenders we're talking about here either.
Talbot
Talbot's
was
been
in
having a
and
great year.
Lehner was in.
Exactly. And
So
it was just there was nothing they could do. Like there was no defense being played here at all. It was a
congratulations to
lot
the
of it was a lot of fun.
right. All right. Kings and the Coyotes. Kings win 3-2.
Kings won 3-2. Yeah.
Yep.
We Steel you had 4-2.
Ah, well.
CL had 4-1. Everybody else had the Yotes.
Okay.
So nobody got the Kings on that one.
Okay. The
And
next game is the Oilers and the Canucks.
yeah, and the Canucks. I feel sorry for the Canucks. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it is 5-3 on that game. That was a final. But I think we're
Uh,
gonna see. I think we're gonna see McDavid is gonna maybe. I think he's gonna hit that 100-point mark.
oh yeah, he got four
He's
last night.
91. He's at 91 now, right? Yeah,
He
he's
got
got
four
30
last night.
goals. Jeez,
When
31
he
goals. I'm sorry.
decides to go to the outside in the hash at the hash marks, like there's nothing stopping him really. It's crazy. It's insane. His from stop to his first three steps are the craziest I've ever seen.
I agree. I agree.
This is in I maybe the fastest time that the NHL has ever been. Insane, insane, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, but
Last game.
nobody had the score. Everybody had the Oilers.
Okay. Last game.
Five,
Avalanche
four.
5-4 over the Sharks. This was a final overtime game,
Yeah, and they just barely scraped that.
just barely.
They were
But
down.
so what?
They were down 4-2 or something like that, and they
Yeah,
came back.
something like that. Yep. Hmm.
In overtime, nobody had the score. Everybody had the Avs. Serrano's the only one that had the Sharks, and he almost got it. He must have been stressed out watching that because San Jose looked like they were going to win that the whole game. I don't know. Colorado, it's weird this year, isn't it? It's weird this year. It's getting to the end, and you're starting to see teams, some teams being fatigued. It almost looks like the teams that are out of it have a new, like all the pressure's off now, so they're maybe not weighed down as much with the pressure to make the playoffs and stuff like that. So they're playing loose, and it's really really
That's
tough to
yeah,
keep
that's
track.
probably some of it. Plus, you're seeing some of these other teams now are bringing up some of the young guns, and they're starting to sit some of the older players, and they're starting to bring some of the young players up, because now that the AHL season's wrapping up and some of the other minor leagues are wrapping up, you're starting to see some of the younger players come in, now that the college season's over, you're starting to see some of those younger guys coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing that we're seeing with these teams that are not in it. You're starting to
Mhm.
see them play some of the younger guys,
Yeah.
and they seem to have a little bit more jump because, well, they're playing the younger guys.
It brings in energy too to see guys that are there that are
Yep.
like trying to earn a paycheck and not, live out their dreams. It kind of reminds you like what you're really here for. I have like teams like the really great general managers have a tendency to do that throughout the year. And you were mentioning that the Philadelphia Flyers should have did that earlier. Other teams as well, bring in these young guys so you can see. I bring these veterans back to what it means to play the game again. Don't you remember when you were trying to be in the NHL and the passion you had to get there and the freshness of what that game was about and all of that stuff like that. Like, well, remember why we started all this to begin with. It's a really good idea to do that.
Can't argue with that at all, man. Can't argue with that at all. And that's where it needs to start. It needs to start there so that you're able to put a good team out there. And if you're not able to make those self assessments, you're not able to bring those players up to look at and see and what's going on, then, look, we can sit here until we're blue in the face and talk about the mistakes that were made this year on all the teams that didn't make it. And we can talk about all the great things that the teams did that are in the playoffs and that did make it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so here's the thing. We're going to have playoff hockey for the next 2 months. So quite
Yeah.
frankly, I don't really care what's going on. I got playoff hockey for the next 2 months.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be
Oh
awesome.
boy.
Kevin Sterling, yes, they did lose to Buffalo. I didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming at all, especially against a guy named Hauser. All
All right.
right,
Hey, Kevin,
we
welcome.
got
Hey.
uh, pound that like button. We're gonna come back and we're gonna have our updated standings. Hockey
Oh,
News Reports,
cool.
by the way. Head over if you haven't already. Go over to his channel, Hockey News Reports. Guy's got great content over there. He's a great guy. Helps us out a lot here at Pearls of Wisdom Industries, at the Steel Flyers Network, doing all of these updates and stuff like that. He's taken it upon himself to
Thank
just
you.
do it out of fun. Great dude. Really, go over and give him a sub and check out some of his stuff. He's a very knowledgeable hockey person as well. Extremely knowledgeable hockey person. Check him out. All right, we're going to get to a word from our sponsor, and we'll be back here in a couple minutes to do the picks of the day. Yeah, I might even have a Perlo dance for y'all.
Woo, Perlo dance.
Maybe. We'll see.
Greetings. This is Steel Flyers from the Steel Flyers All Sports Network, and we have two very special guests. We are delighted to be joined by Tracy Musser and Nicole Howard from the Canine Country Club Resorts. Tracy and Nicole are both managers for CCC Resorts and work at the Windsor or at the club, one of two locations both in Manheim, Pennsylvania. Congratulations on your 30th year anniversary of being in business. Let me start off by saying this. Steel Flyer stands behind this company 100%. Taken care of Steel Flyer's furry friend for the last 2 years now, and they are a one-stop shop for everything your furry friend needs. In fact, let's find out what our friends at CCC Resorts offer. Nicole, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. What are some of the great boarding services that you guys offer, and what do we have to do in order to get our furry friends taken care of when we are unable to travel with them?
Well, we like to bring everybody in for a tour first. That way they can see the behind the scenes, they can see where they stay, they can see where they play, and then we explain all of the fun things that we can add on to their reservation, whether it be one of our packages, either a nature walk, a ball time, or even a cuddle time.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Boy, it sure sounds like a resort to me. So how are you today, Tracy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Tracy, tell me, is it true that you guys have both an indoor and an outdoor pool at the Windsor location?
It is true. We've got one of each, so we're able to offer year-round swimming. The indoor pool is a great option for dogs who are swimming for therapy or rehab. It's got that sloped entry so they can wade into the water. Our outdoor pool is a little bit larger, and it's 4 foot deep the whole way across. And both of them are saltwater pools, so it's really easy on the dog's skin and coat.
Wow, that's very awesome. So then during the summer months, you have a much deeper pool outside and then a sloped entry shallow pool indoors for the dogs. Tracy, tell the folks how we can get some pool time.
Well, the first thing everyone does is come for an intro swim. We use that time to make sure the dog is comfortable in the water. We make sure they know how to get out of the pool safely, and we go over all the pool rules and etiquette with the clients as well. After that, they're able to schedule private appointments where they have the pool to themselves, or they can invite friends and have a whole group swim going on.
So after a dip in the pool, then it would have to be off to the groomers, right? I mean, our furry friends cannot go out looking their best. Nicole, what are some of the great services your top-notch groomers provide?
Our groomers, they specialize in full service grooms. We can do the basics, whether it be just a bath and a brush out or a blowout. Or for the extra pampered pooches, we can do nail dremels, we can do deodorizing soaks, and also facials.
Wow, man, that sounds like a resort if you ask me. Tracy, I know one of the main programs here at CCC Resorts is the WAGS program. The Steel Flyers dog is enrolled in this program. So why don't you tell the folks what is involved in this and how they can get enrolled?
Yeah, the WAGS program is our primary daycare option at the Windsor. It's designed to be a structured program for people who are looking for a set routine for their dog. They all come on the same days each week, which allows them to have set friends, and we know exactly what's going on with each group. So we do a little bit more activities, and we build more into their daily routine there. But we've got other daycare options as well for people looking for a little less commitment. We do an hourly care where you can drop them off and just pay by the hour. We also do a day stay option, which is great for the dogs that prefer human friends instead of making friends with other dogs. And then we have a traditional daycare option as well if you're looking for the occasional outing for your dog.
Wow, there you have it. A full service groomer, a daycare program, and an indoor and outdoor pool. What more could you ask for? Sure seems like CCC Resorts has everything covered. Remember, DOG, depend on God.
We're back, boys and girls. All right. So we're going to get hockey news reports if you're out there. I did not get your update. Uh, so we'll just keep on continuing. We got lots of we got 5 picks today. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too
Pretty
bad.
pretty light schedule today. So we can
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about all these. We got lots of time to talk about the games and all that kind of stuff. You see me all right? Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You were frozen there. All
Yep,
right.
yep. We're all good, man.
Hello, everybody. Now, if you're new here and have never done this before, it's a very simple procedure. We first of all we talk about hockey, and second of all, Kate
Yeah, we
just
talk
gives me
about
the
hockey. Yeah, we talk a little
yeah
bit about hockey, man.
yeah that's about all we do. And then we do another hockey related thing where you tell us what you think, who you think's going to win, and what the score is going to be for the games for tonight. And then tomorrow, we will hopefully have updated standings available to us. Hockey News Reports has updated them, but unfortunately, I didn't receive them. And we will see who the winner is, and then you can have all you can go throughout your day knowing you're the best picker in the land. Right now, the champion is Mercer. Mercer is the champion from last month,
Yeah,
and
man.
he hit one today too. He's right back at her.
Oh,
I
he's
think
had quite a
without
few, actually.
without looking at the standings though, I think CL might have it right now.
Okay. But see, now what you need to do is tell the folks, first of all, you need to hit the like and subscribe, and you need to do that
Yeah,
now. Let us know what you think. But see, what you need to tell them is that not only if you win over Perlo, so look, at the end of the month, and
yeah.
you have more points than Perlo,
Hmm.
you get to pick something that Perlo has to do on a show.
Yeah, if you have more points than everybody, including Perlo, so I
Right.
have to win it
Okay.
in order to not have
Oh,
to
okay. All right.
suffer the wrath of
Okay, so right
whatever.
now he is in the suffering of wrath mode because Kyle Mercer has decreed that
Yeah,
he will have to wear some type of a wig,
yeah,
whether it be pigtails or an ocean spray comb over, or we don't know yet. We will find something for Perlo to wear. Because quite frankly, if you put anything on top of his head right now, it'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
You could put a leaf of lettuce, and that would be a wig for me.
all right, well, let's not do that. But
I'm just
we
thinking
got
of
some.
random things.
I know, but we got some great games tonight. I
Yes,
know
we
we
do.
don't have. I know we don't have as many games as we did last night,
Yeah,
but
the funny thing about the games tonight, I don't think this has ever happened, not with this many games, anyone. Every one of them is a back to back.
from the ones last night,
Yeah,
yeah, the ones that are happening tonight,
yeah,
yeah. You know why? I think this is what's going on here is that we're getting into that point in the season now where technically they were supposed to be ending the season. Okay.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so now we're getting into that point now where there are teams that have to make up some games. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into that schedule now where teams are starting to make up games. Okay.
Hmm.
And so I think that's why we're getting the schedule the way it is right now with what's going on with some of these back to backs and stuff like that. So, all righty, my man. The first game on the docket is the New York Islanders facing against the Buffalo Sabres. And this is the back to back here on this one, folks.
Oh, yeah, and they're putting Hauser back in again because they have no other goaltenders. Everybody's injured. Uh,
Well, that makes that easy.
yeah, it's pretty hard. His coach just looks around and says, "Who has the goalie pads on?" All right, you're in, I guess. Uh,
So like,
yeah,
what you probably want to do is just tell some rookie, "Hey, put these pads on."
yeah.
You'll be all right. The coach won't pick you.
And
Just put
I'm
these
pretty
pads on.
sure it'll be Sorokin for the Islanders.
Yeah,
And the
probably.
Islanders got it. This is almost like a must win for them, not to make the playoffs, but to
But it
get something
is.
going here.
It
Like
is.
it is to make the playoffs too, because
Yeah, no,
Rangers could
yeah.
still catch him.
No. This is for the Islanders. They've already made it. Islanders are already in. But this is for getting that momentum into the playoffs, like you were talking
Exactly.
about. You
Yeah.
don't want to come. You don't want to be walking in like me with a cane and a limp and a hobble. No, you want to come in flying like a saber jet. Do you like what I said there? Saber jet against.
Oh
the Sabres.
yeah.
Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
I saw what you did there.
right, but you want to come into the playoffs firing on all cylinders. You know what I mean? And you want to be coming in winning games instead of losing games. So and the Islanders have a distinct opportunity right now to gain on teams ahead of them or whatever, and to play against teams like Buffalo, they should be winning these games and getting these points.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. They got to play like a team that's a little bit embarrassed. You did
Mm-hmm.
lose to an ECHL. I mean, it's not a Zamboni driver, but not too far away. Like
Okay.
it's pretty bad. You don't want to be losing to a guy who's 28 years old
Yeah.
and he's played the bulk of his career in the ECHL, like 2 leagues lower than you. You
Yeah.
lost to a goaltender that is pretty much a, a D League goaltender, and yeah, you don't want to be doing that, man.
Yeah,
That's
but they
not
also
cool at
lost
all.
to a Buffalo team that has been playing a little bit better. Reinhardt
Yeah,
really has been lighting it up too, you know what I
I
mean? So,
realize that, but
all right. So here we go now. The Islanders, I agree. I think this is a must-win game for them, and I don't think they're going to be embarrassed 2 nights in a row. And I don't care how hot take you want to talk about it, but I don't think Sabres are going to be able to win this game.
you would have to think so.
You would have to think so, right? So now I'm gonna play possum now and wait for everybody to make their picks. And
Okay.
I'll wait till everybody's done.
Who's the backup for Buffalo? Good question. I do not know. I might
You
try
might
to
have to
look
check
that up
that
here.
one out. All right. So Joey has a Buffalo 4-3 in
Yeah,
overtime.
I got that.
Okay.
Was that in overtime? Okay.
Yes, in overtime. Yes.
Okay.
Hey Jay, welcome to the show. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you putting your picks in.
He's got Islanders 3, Buffalo 2, J.
JP, I got, yeah.
Yeah,
3-2
JP.
Islanders.
Okay.
Lekis is the backup goalie for Buffalo. I don't know. I have no idea what a Lekis is.
Never even
Is
heard.
that?
Anyway,
Never heard of it.
right. Lauren has Islanders. Avatar has 3-2 Islanders.
Lauren is.
Islanders.
Lauren has what? Islanders, yeah.
Islanders. Yep. Mercer has 4-2 Sabres.
4-2 Sabres. Well, geez, that the Sabres pretty much win, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mercer's
Yeah.
got it. We thought the Sabres weren't going to win, but we were wrong.
CL has Isles 4-1.
Yeah, CL has Isles 4-1. Whitechell has Sabres 2-1. And okay, I didn't. Oh, you haven't did yours.
Yeah, I haven't made my
Bill,
pick.
Bill, everybody's taking the Sabres.
Bill has Sabres 3-2. Look,
They're taking the trendy
trendy hot take. I had the Islanders winning this division at the beginning of the season, and I've been very disappointed with how they've played so far, especially down the stretch. They were 9-0-1 there at one point during the season and had one of the league's longest win streaks and were playing out of their head and were winning the division, leading the division, and then the tires fell off or something. I don't know what happened, but the Islanders just are not the same team that they were earlier in the season. So I'm going to have to go with I'm still picking them, though. I'm still going to go Islanders 3-1.
3-1 Isles. Okay. And I mean, I'm going to go the Isles too.
I just have a hard time with Barry Trotz losing 2 games in a row, especially to Buffalo.
I don't know what it is. I'm watching the game. They're not consistent, and they're playing back on their heels, which is really weird.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't seen the Islanders do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they're usually right in that neutral zone on top of you the moment you got the puck on your stick, right? Their anticipation is better than any team in the league, I think. That's really their MO, right? And
yeah.
This time, they're letting guys run through the neutral zone. It's like, where is everybody? Holy crap, what's going on here?
Well,
very weird. And the Sabres took advantage of that yesterday very well. Got to give them credit. They did play very, very well. But
I mean, I think this is where we're starting to see the effect of Anders Lee being out, their captain. Okay.
Yeah,
now,
I
know they made some trades at the trade deadline to try to help replace some of that with the 2 players from New Jersey. You know what I mean? But I think that's kind of, ever since then, it hasn't quite been the same Islanders team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I just think that might be part of it.
Yeah, I think you can almost make a case this year, besides Q, but overall the last little while, you might be able to say, and I know you're going to hate saying this, that Sullivan in Pittsburgh might be creeping up on Trotz as the best coach in the NHL. You look, they've lost their captain. They've lost, how many injuries have they had, and nothing stops them, right?
But they didn't lose Sidney Crosby this year.
Not this year, but they have.
Yeah, but
like
not
I'm
this
talking
year.
about over the last couple of years. They seem to keep on
Sullivan's
going.
season
But
last year, that was
But they
horrible.
lost to Chicago in the playoffs. So.
I don't know, man. I this year maybe, but I don't. They're not looking at combination of years. They're only looking at this year.
Last year they had terrible injuries.
But they had injuries this year too. They had injuries this year too, and honestly though, I see where you're going with Sullivan being mentioned, but honestly, I would have to put Quenneville in there.
Quenneville is going to win this year.
Or you know who else I would even put in there too? Would be Rod Brind'Amour.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. You got to put Roddy in there. I think there needs to be a little more of a window yet before you start talking about that. And how much the only thing I will say is he's done all that and really hasn't had the best goaltending too on top of it.
Speaking
So
of
that's a big
wingers,
but
Roddy Brindamore was a winger.
yeah, he was a left winger. Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's a playmaker
He
type
wasn't a
of player.
playmaker. He was more of a sniper.
He put up some pretty good
He
points.
put up
Not
some
too
great.
bad.
But he
Not
was a
too
left.
bad.
But okay, all right.
He wasn't really a points guy, but he did put
No.
up some pretty good seasons though. 90 points one year.
Yeah.
He was more of a playmaker. He was more of the defensive guy. He took a lot of the stuff down on the defensive end and stuff like that. So all right.
Yeah. Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
props for making that defense work decent. Absolutely. I have to agree with you there, my friend. Whitechel, yeah, the Foligno is out for Toronto, and that's really too bad. We'll get to that. Is Toronto playing tonight? Yeah. No. No,
Toronto?
they're not. No.
No, Toronto's not playing tonight.
Okay, so we can talk about that. Foligno is hurt. That's too bad for Toronto because that he is fit in there really well. He looks really good. And they need that guy. Everybody needs a Foligno. I'd like to have a Foligno around the house every once in a while.
Oh gosh, man. All
You know
right.
what I mean?
Jeez.
Everybody needs a Foligno. Heart and
All
soul,
right.
people like that, for sure.
Okay. I'm cool
Okay,
with it.
let's get to our next one.
Bruins and Devils.
Bruins versus Devils. And this is going to be a little interesting because, like you said before, the Bruins have had difficulties with the Devils this year. Not last night. But Mackenzie Blackwood's going to be in, and the kid's back in for Swayman. Swayman's back in for the
For
Bruins.
Boston.
For Boston,
I'm not
yeah.
picking against Swayman. I am not picking agaast that kid.
I don't think
He
I
is
can
just
either.
too good.
I don't
He's
think
just too
I
good.
can either.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
too good.
Yeah.
I like what Boston has done this year, especially at the trade deadline with the acquisition of Hall and Riley and Lazar. Those guys have really panned out well for Boston. And Boston's on the rise, man. They're trying to do that, they're trying to come into the playoffs on fire. And if they keep playing this way and they keep scoring points, they could potentially catch the Islanders, yeah? Right? They're not.
They could potentially, yeah, they
Yeah.
could. They could.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if they do, actually, the way the Islanders have been
That's what
playing.
I'm saying. And if the Islanders keep playing the way they are,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, then I don't see the problem with Boston overtaking them at all, one little bit.
No. But on the same note, I don't think it really much matters who they end up playing in the East there. Who you want to play?
Yeah, but
Washington, Pittsburgh.
but would you much rather see Boston play against Washington or Pittsburgh? If you were Boston, who would you much rather play? The Islanders.
I think I'd rather play Washington. I think I'd rather play Washington. No, maybe
Right.
not. I don't know. I don't know either one. I think Pittsburgh because Jari. Jari's not that great, right?
See, you know what? That's what I would pick. I would want to pick Pittsburgh first, and then go
Yeah.
with Washington, if I was Boston. All right. So let's
Avatar,
see here.
4-2 Bruins.
So we got Joey goes with the Devils,
Yeah, Avatar got 4-2 Bruins.
right? And then Kyle Mercer has 4-1 Bruins. JP has 4-3 Devils in overtime. CL has
Okay.
Boston 2-1.
JP has 4-3 Devils OT.
Right? CL has 2-1 Boston.
CL has 2-1 Bruins. You know what I noticed? CL picks the original six quite a bit.
Okay. Lauren's
Bill
got
T.
Bruins.
Bill T has Bruins 3-0.
Yep.
Swayman
uh,
gets the shutout.
Boston had. There you go. Thank you,
With a
Avatar.
1-point lead over the Islanders.
With a
one
one
game
game in hand, so they are ahead of them. All
They
right. So
already
that
are ahead of
happened.
them, yeah.
That happened last night with that win and the Islanders' loss.
Right.
Okay, so there you have it. And then Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh still the top of the division?
I think so by 1.2. I'd have to look it up
Okay.
here.
John Weichel has 3-1 Bruins,
Yeah, I got that.
and Brian Watson, hey, welcome Brian, has
Yeah.
3-1 Bruins.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I got
everybody
that.
being here. Yeah, cool, cool, cool.
What do you got? Did you do one already, Stu?
No.
Are you talking about?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Boston 4-1.
Boston 4-1. Okay, I was just
Yeah.
going to bring up the standings here.
Yeah, it's a 1 point lead for Boston, and then yeah, Bruins clinched. Yep, they got their 1 point that they needed, but with getting their extra point, and with Islanders losing, that brings them up to third place now and drops the Islanders into fourth place. Yeah,
Yeah, just 1 second here.
yeah.
I got 3-2 Bruins, by the way. Nobody took 3-2, so I'm going to take the 3-2. Get a chance for a 3-2. Most popular score in hockey.
Okay, yes, that's exactly what happened. Boston now is third place over the Islanders.
Yeah,
The Islanders have 67. Boston has 68. Pittsburgh and Washington are tied at 71 apiece.
yeah. And Washington has one game in hand.
Yes,
So that could go any which way. I do believe the Islanders have a fairly. It was Pittsburgh and the Islanders have the easiest schedule coming up, I believe.
I know Pittsburgh
So
does.
Pittsburgh's got, yeah, a pretty
Yeah.
easy schedule. So
Well, although playing Philadelphia hasn't proved to be very easy for them this year.
wow, that was crazy.
Right? So what happened to that one there, Pittsburgh? What?
I don't
Speaking of
want
which,
Leafs Boston, and he doesn't want Leafs versus Boston. He's a Leafs fan. He doesn't think the Leafs line up very well against Boston. I would have to agree with that.
I would also have to agree with that. In fact, honestly, I don't. I think I would say Toronto's coming out of the North, but I don't think they're going to come out anywhere else after that. I think
Yeah,
whoever they face in the first round is going is going to take care of Toronto.
I think so too. Yeah, anybody against the East, for
Or if they
sure.
play against the Central, or it doesn't matter. I don't think Toronto is going to be able to take anybody from the West or the Central or even the East.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
yeah,
Certainly, if Foligno has a long-term injury, definitely not.
right,
Definitely.
right,
Might
exactly.
have had a chance with Foligno in there, but I have to agree. I don't like their defense all that much. Their
No,
goaltending is eh.
right.
Yeah. Matthews can't score every goal all the time.
But he is up to 31 though.
He's insane.
So
Amazing player.
okay.
Amazing player. Love
The
watching him.
the next that's another player that I really like too is Austin Matthews.
How do you not? You never know when he's going to shoot.
He's so
And
smooth.
oh yeah,
He makes
he
it look
looks.
so easy.
He's the closest thing I've seen in that way, anyways, to Mario Lemieux.
Yeah, because that's how Mario Lemieux was.
Oh
He made
yeah,
it look so easy.
he
Like
made it
it
look
was
like he was
barely
just
an
out of.
effort.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like it was just a walk out in the park. Just,
Yeah, like okay,
yeah,
boop, score.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I'm just
oh,
gonna go
okay.
around the defenseman here, and yeah, he did
You
look
know,
lazy.
yeah, you know.
And it was just because of his stride, right? It
Yes.
wasn't as easy as it looked, but he made it look super
And
easy.
but
Most natural guy.
and Lemieux was a good skater.
Yep,
He had a
extremely good skater.
good skater, you know. So, all right. Speaking of
He
which, that,
sees the Lauren says he sees the Oilers coming out of the north. Wow.
I could see that. I could very well see that. They have the offensive firepower to do so,
Oh yeah. And
you
McDavid
know. And if it
can
comes
go crazy.
down between Edmonton and Toronto, I think that would be a heck of a matchup.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who's going to win that one.
Yeah, that would be tough to
I don't
call,
know.
but I'm with you.
That's probably what it is going to be. I thought it was going to be Winnipeg, but Winnipeg is really.
Doesn't? Yeah, they've dropped off, and I don't think
Yeah.
Montreal, even though they won last night against Toronto, I don't think Montreal is going to be there either. You know what I mean? I don't see them there. But
No, we'll see. Okay, what do we got next?
next
Hey,
game is
E-money.
Is the Flyers and the Penguins again?
Oh gosh.
Uh,
I don't know what to do with this game after last night. You got to figure the Penguins will be out for bear here. Like you don't want to lose to. I hate to say the lowly Philadelphia Flyers, but I
no,
have
no,
no
no, no.
choice but
Please say
to.
it. Please say the lowly Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah. It's well, you don't want to be a team that says they've got their best goaltender in, well, at least available to them, in Elliott tonight. Elliott versus Jari, that's not really a goaltender matchup made in heaven. So,
Here's the thing.
uh, Serrano's going with the Flyers, of course.
Um, I I know that Philadelphia has played Pittsburgh very well this year. And I know that yesterday I said that as long as Philadelphia beats Pittsburgh and if they lose all the rest of the games during the rest of the season, and as long as they beat Pittsburgh, I consider that to be a positive season. Right?
Yeah.
I still can't pick the Flyers right now. I still can't. I have no. I Giroux only has 16 goals on the season. Um, Joel Farabee has more. Huh? Wait, what? How's that possible?
Joe Farabee has more what, sorry?
Goals. Has more
Than who?
goals than Claude Giroux.
Ah, okay. Well, that doesn't surprise. I really like Farabee a lot. So
TK hasn't scored. He scored one the other night, but hadn't scored in over 19 games.
TK's playing horrible, and that's really one of the biggest. I mean, he was scratched this year.
Hayes hasn't scored. Now he scored the other night, but for the most part, Hayes has barely put any goals in the net this year too. Where's that
Yeah,
been? You know.
they have no confidence at all right now. Like, well, maybe after last night, but
Can I just say this? I know what the chairman came out and said for the Flyers and said that he has confidence in whatever, whatever, and all this other stuff. But I'm just going to say this: if if the message doesn't change in Philadelphia, then this is the team that the Philadelphia is going to be dealing with for the next 5 years. Perennially not making the playoffs, perennially underachieving. If they keep the same coach, the same general manager, and the same philosophy, and they just keep trudging ahead, then this is what you're going to deal with. This is the kind of mediocrity you're going to be expected to see coming out of Philadelphia for the next couple of years. And it's
Lauren brings up a decent point though, possible. Before you go on,
go tell
that
us.
they have a lot of people playing injured. He figures, and
I
that would
agree.
make that would make sense.
I agree, but let me say this: if you have players playing injured and you have all this depth that the Flyers reportedly have in defense and in
I
everything
don't
else, like I said,
see it.
right, right. So if they have all this depth, then where is it?
I don't see the depth. I went and looked at their AHL. I know their team is doing well, but a lot of them are veterans. I don't see the depth everybody's talking about. Maybe somewhere down the road. I do like.
Well, the
Uh,
depth that we're talking about is like Zamula.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's the kind of depth that we're talking about.
yeah.
Now that we're starting to see Allison come up and play.
Allison, I like
Well, right.
for sure.
Myers has come up and played. Right. Sandheim needs to come up. I mean, more and more of the younger guys need to come up and play. Look, the Philadelphia Flyers have made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion, over the last couple of years as far as who they've drafted and who they've kept as far as part of their team. Okay, and they've stockpiled what they thought were great defensive prospects, but they're all the same player. They're all the same type of player, the same size. They all have the same game. So I don't need four players that all have the same game as Gostisbehere. I only need one. Okay? I need a right-hand defensive shot. We have all left-hand defensive shots.
Yeah,
Okay? I need a right-hand defensive shot. right?
Yeah, but they're drafting late all the time, and the problem again is with Philly is they're in this situation. By the way, this is the same thing that happened in Minnesota with Chuck Fletcher. The team was just good enough to make the playoffs or just miss it, so they never got a really good draft pick, and they never
and you
really got
stay in
much
the
in the
middle,
playoffs.
and you
Yeah,
stay in the middle, you never get any better. You never
yeah,
no, that's not going to fly in Philadelphia. Okay,
yeah.
that's I'm here to tell you, especially after being one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals last year, right?
Hmm.
And then before all this whole mess, Philadelphia had made the playoffs like 28 out of the last 34 years up until 9 years ago.
Hmm.
Now, what happened 9 years ago? Claude Giroux was brought in, Voracek was brought in, all these other guys were brought in. You know, they started turning over coaches every other day. They started turning over GMs. They started, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have a good cup contending winning team when you're constantly doing that. When you have constant, differently changing philosophies going on, you can't do that.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Anyways, what's the next game there?
do we have everybody score for this one?
I think so. Yeah, I've been watching. I got everybody so far.
Did I even say mine? Hey, money's in.
Yeah, E-Money's in the house.
Okay, all right. Did I put a score up there? I don't know. I don't remember. 7-1,
Uh,
6-1,
oh, Steel. No, you didn't.
6-1, Pittsburgh.
61 Penguins. I'm gonna go just lame. I'm just gonna go 4-2 Penguins.
Okay.
Okay.
Next game
Next game.
is the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes. It's the Hurricanes.
Uh, now the Hurricanes, yeah, versus Canes. The Canes should be totally tired here. They're playing 6 games in 9 nights on a back-to-back.
Yep.
And the thing is, though, like we were just talking about, Chicago is tired just because they're tired. They just have a whole bunch of. They don't have much depth in that organization. They haven't had many players that they could switch in and out of their taxi squad. And these guys have been playing every single night and they're looking like it. Almost like Vancouver looks like, except they didn't go through COVID. And so this could be a pretty sloppy game, I would think. Then it would be because and Reimer is going to be in net for Carolina, and that's never good.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. He hasn't been horrible. I mean, it's not like it's Elliott or Lyon or something like that, but it's pretty close. And then Lankinen hasn't been great as of late. He came out rocking, but hasn't been late. Subban played last night, so Lankin will be in tonight.
Okay. Nedeljkovic was in last night
Yeah,
for Carolina, and Carolina has the season series on Chicago 5-2.
yeah.
So I agree. I think Carolina is a little bit tired, but here's the thing that's blowing me away with Carolina. Nothing seems to affect this team.
So far, yeah, it
It
seems
doesn't
like it.
seem to matter who's in net. It doesn't seem to matter if their number one goalie goes down for a third of the season. It doesn't matter that they have COVID at the beginning and miss what, 2 weeks or something like that, whatever they missed, right? They have what the most points in the league right now is 77. And the best quote that I heard this week was from Rod Brindamore. They said, "Hey, Rod Brindamore, you going for the President's Trophy?" He's like, "Yeah, that's a nice trophy, but that's not the one I'm going for."
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
that's the coach I want.
No, he didn't say nice at all. He said that's an irrelevant.
That's an irrelevant trophy.
That's an
I was
irrelevant
trying
trophy.
to be nice. I was trying to be nice.
Yeah,
Right?
but I think that was even better. He's like, that's irrelevant. It's an irrelevant trophy.
You know, and historically, the team that wins the President's Trophy has not been the team that's won the cup.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like, great, you won the President's Trophy, great. You got your team's name on the President's Trophy, great. Well, It's not the same as the Stanley Cup. Got to have the Lord Chalice, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when was the last time? I think it was Washington was the last time they won both, right? No, E-Money would know. I think every time they won the presidents, they lost. Actually, in the year that they won, they didn't win the
Correct.
presidents.
That's correct.
Uh,
And I think it was the same thing with, I think Boston, they won the President's Trophy. They lost. I think.
oh, it's you know what? It's Halak, not Swayman in tonight.
Oh, I don't
That
care.
changes things a
Not
lot.
really.
Oh
Not for
no,
me.
I think Halak has been really bad, really bad. I
Okay,
don't
but
know, Jamie, why that is, but that scares me a bit. I'll tell you that.
well, here's the thing. Um, it's going to be Halak's job to lose next year, probably to Swayman, because I really think that Rask is going to
Uh,
probably retire after this year.
yeah, Halak is a free agent too.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see what
All
happens
right.
there.
Well, there you go.
Jim Benning will be fired soon. Um, I've I you got to make a case that he should be. He's made some really bad moves there in Vancouver. But the problem with him, the problem with firing him is he's amazing at drafting. His draft and development is fantastic. I think he's just in the wrong role. He should just be in the head of player development and
Instead
not a
of general
general
manager.
manager. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's great at. He's brought in a lot of great players for Vancouver.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, all right. Well, so what do we got here now? We got the Blackhawks and the Hurricanes,
I
and
haven't put in a pick yet.
no, I don't think we have either. We were really excited about the Blackhawks at the beginning of the year. We were like, wow, so this is what they call a rebuild. And it didn't look like they were rebuilding because it looked like everything that they were doing was doing well. Subban was playing well.
Yeah.
Luukkonen was playing well and everything like that. You know what I mean? And or Lankinen was playing well. And Chicago was beating teams like Carolina and Florida and, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And at one point, they were in fourth place during the season, and they were looking at like they were gonna, potentially make the playoffs. And then I don't know what happened, but I guess the Nashville team hit, and suddenly Chicago just dropped away. You know, injuries caught
I
up,
got.
injuries caught up,
Yeah.
and all that other stuff too. So
I think they're just a little too young to be playing this many games. That's simple as that. They got Kurashev and Pius Suter and all of those guys. They played in Europe before
I
this.
know,
Like,
I know.
and now you're playing. It's not even just a normal season. You're playing a condensed schedule where you're playing 4 games a week against the toughest humans on the planet. Like it's too much to
I'm
ask,
with you.
man. It's amazing that they did as well
I
as they
agree.
did.
I agree. Hey, Devondra in the house. What's up?
Yeah, Devondra's putting up her picks too.
Okay. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. They did. They just fell right off. It's like, what happened? Wow, look at all these people hopping in here, dude. This is so exciting, man, seeing all these great people coming in here. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you,
Oh, the
everybody, for
Bueller's
coming
in
in
here.
here, man. This is so awesome. I love seeing this.
2021 Stanley Cup champions, the Sabres.
Yeah. Well, you actually would have to
Yeah.
put 2022 on there because they're not going to make it this year. But I like the way you think. That's all good. Okay, this is the Carolina Hurricanes versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Um, I technically should be obligated family wise to pick Chicago, but I can't because I have to go with my buddy Rod Brindamore, who is potentially a free agent coach after this year and has not signed any extensions in Carolina. And I think there's potentially an opening in Philadelphia. Uh,
Yeah.
I can
I
dream.
don't.
I can dream.
I don't know why you'd want to jump in that
I
fire
know.
when you got a
I
roster
can
like that in
dream.
Carolina.
Hey, leave me alone. I can dream. I
It would be a money thing.
Oh man, I would love to have Rod Brindamore as our coach in Philadelphia. Are you kidding me? Anyway,
I got your 4-2 Canes.
yeah, I'm going. I'm going. Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Canes.
Steel 3-1.
Perlo Wisdom
Okay.
Jr.
Yeah, he comes on all the time. I don't know what
Okay,
he.
cool.
I don't know. What I don't know.
Joey got Carolina 4-2.
Yeah, I got everybody
Oh, you
there.
did all right. Lauren, Canes
Yep.
win. Bill says Blackwood is unconfirmed for the Devils.
Yeah, he is unconfirmed as of right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
All right. So the next game on the docket is
Just putting the Rogers in for the Devils.
is the last game that's on the docket, and that is the Edmonton Oilers versus the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay, that's the last one.
That's the last one, my friend.
Oilers versus Canucks. I do believe that Demko will be in net and Smith will be in net for this
Okay.
one. Back to back, of course. Just Vancouver just can't get anything going. They got nailed with COVID. I guess it was a strain that just hit the team like really hard, and it shows on the ice. Like they're trying the best they can, but
They've won 2 of the games that they've faced so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Edmonton is 4-2 against Vancouver, and a lot of the makeup games are against Edmonton here for Vancouver. The games that they had missed due to their COVID issue, Vancouver. I do as well. I feel bad for Vancouver because of they had the I guess it was the Brazilian strain that went through their team and really just decimated. I mean, they had 21 total people from their organization was on the COVID list, and then they had multiple extended family members that were also affected as well.
yeah,
You know, which made everything that much worse. Plus, they were down for 26 days. You know, they were locked down for 26 days too, so that made it
yeah,
even more difficult. So,
yeah.
um,
And then their schedule has been insane.
yeah,
They've had to go all the way across. Dude, they went a couple games against Toronto and then flew all the way across Canada.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
interested.
Demko is. It says unconfirmed still.
Okay,
It should be Demko. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but you never know. I guess.
I don't I don't know. I don't really think that they should. It, I guess because they're playing against Edmonton, and Edmonton really needs the points. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm kind of looking at here. And Winnipeg needs points, Montreal needs points, and Toronto needs points. But for the most part, I really didn't think, I wasn't sure how they were going to do this with Vancouver missing all those games and then how they were going to bring them back. Now they extended the season till the 19th of May, but now that means that's pushing everything else back an extra 2 weeks.
Mm,
So what doesn't make any sense to me is why would you force Vancouver to continue to play games unless it's against teams like Edmonton or Toronto or Winnipeg or Montreal? Why would you make them
yeah,
continue to play teams like Calgary, Ottawa, and Van? You know, that's I'm hoping that that's what they do. You know what I mean?
maybe.
I don't know. I don't know. It seems like they're just gonna make them go the whole way, and every game is gonna be made up.
Yeah, they just had a bad. I mean, I didn't notice it to begin with in the beginning of the year. The brutal schedule they had right out of the get go. And then, I thought, okay, they can overcome this and they'll have an easier schedule. And then they get COVID. Like, dude, it's just
You
bad
know, you're
luck.
right.
Just bad.
You're absolutely right. This was what we talked about at the beginning of the year with Vancouver because they came out of the gates and played like 12 games in 15 nights right out of the
Or something
gates.
like that. It was
Yeah,
just
it was
stupid.
stupid.
Like, I don't think anybody got nailed like that this
Right.
year. Like, it was
And
crazy.
Vancouver came out and they did it. They didn't have a horrible record at the end of that run. It wasn't that
It wasn't
horrible.
terrible, terrible.
Right.
There was a lot of people, like they didn't have a good record, and people thought, okay, they're in trouble and they can't come back. And I was like, well, they can. They just it's just a
Exactly.
horrible schedule right off the get
Yeah.
go. You
Yeah.
know,
Exactly.
but and then they have that happen, and that pretty much derails them for. The good news is they'll get themselves a nice spanking new defenseman in the draft probably because there's a lot of great ones there, and they really need it. But
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. If they're going to get a really nice, shiny, high draft pick for next year.
yeah,
So,
if you get Power or somebody like
yeah.
that back there, it'd
And
be pretty cool. And Peterson's been out almost
yeah,
all year
yeah.
too,
That's the other thing I'm glad
so
that they did too was they made some rearrangements to the rules for the top three draft picks, so that we don't have a team that makes the playoffs picking the number one pick for next year.
well next year that it doesn't change next year. It's a year after that.
Oh, the year after that. Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, they're
So
starting. They're starting the year after. So this year, a team like the New York Rangers again could freaking do it again. But
Bill T says Brian Elliott is in the net for the Flyers. Oh my gosh, here we go.
yeah, but they won with Lyon in net. They won with
I'm gonna tell
Lyon
you
in
right
net.
now, Pittsburgh probably took the night off last night. Okay,
Well, DeSmith was hurt. I
and
think
that
and had a
too.
bad night
And
in net.
so
But they're
now,
behind the eight ball and they
right.
just
So
got
now I
screwed.
think this game here is going to be the thrashing that we were all expecting last night. I think is going to happen
I would
tonight.
think so. I
So
would think
we'll
so.
see. But look, I'm just glad that Philly has been historically plays well against Pittsburgh, and I really do hope they win tonight, even though I'm probably not going to get to see that. It's funny. I talk to Jim Jackson occasionally, and we were talking about our end of the season wrap up show that we're going to try and get together and do. And he's like, "Yeah, it's going to be a post mortem this year for the Flyers." He's like, "I don't know what happened." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know either." So, but that should be an interesting
Pittsburgh
show.
works their butt off and scores 10 goals tonight. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Nope, nope, would not surprise me.
Oh, JP 3-1 Canucks.
Let's see. Did I pick on this?
No, no, neither one of us
Neither
did.
one of us did. Okay. I'm going to go with Oilers on this one, and I think that McDavid is going to get that little bit closer, and I'm going to go 5-1 Oilers.
5-1
Five to
Oilers.
one Oilers.
Okay. I'm gonna go Demko's in net. I think we don't know for sure. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. Because they're both on a back to back. The Oilers are really relying on speed, and if they're not a good tired team. But I still think they'll win it. Nobody took 3-2 Oilers, so I'm gonna take 3-2 Oilers.
There you
There you
go.
go, 3-2 Oilers. So we got all those done.
Wow, we got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff done today.
we did. We did.
A lot of games from
Did the
yesterday. We
list.
got through all of them, and then a couple of games for today. And
Yeah. Yeah, I got through my list of things to do today.
well, there you go. That's always a
Yeah.
productive day, man. That's
The
awesome
only thing
sauce.
that was on the list is talk about hockey, so it's pretty easy to do. I get pretty much done every day.
You can check that off. We talked about hockey,
Check.
right? Check that off,
Done.
right? All
My
right,
to-do
cool.
list is done, sir.
No, wait. We have some more on the to-do list for today yet, Perlo.
Okay. Oh, we got to get a wig.
No, wait, no. See, later we have to watch hockey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's for sure.
Okay,
That
so
goes
that's
without saying. Yeah.
okay, right. So we talked about hockey. Now we have to go watch hockey. See.
So both Blackwood and Blackwood
Demko.
is unconfirmed. Oh man, are they going to go with Dell? Holy crap! Because they're packing it in, right? New Jersey's looking for the draft pick, so
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Dell. That would be all. That'd be it right there.
Right. Hockey News Report says show the standings.
Oh, I didn't get them. Oh, did you send them to me? Okay, let's see if you sent them now. I didn't get it.
Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. We're on the hunt for the standings.
I do not have the standings. I have the ones from the only standings I have, Hockey News Reports, is the final standings from last season.
Last month.
Unless did you update it with the old one? Because you're starting a new one, right? You're not adding on to the old one. Mercer had 130 points, didn't he? So, no, it doesn't look like I have them. Is he saying anything in there now?
Oh, he says I'll resend them.
Okay. It's for the new, it's all brand new, right? It's fresh. It's from zero now.
It's fresh.
Let me see here.
Yeah, because you can't count
No,
from.
see, these are, you just added to the ones we already did. That's the problem. We're not adding to what we already did. We're starting at zero. I guess I should have made that clear. That's the problem.
Okay, so the points are, so all you have to do is just take the points that were in there for last month and subtract them from the current points that you have now, and then that'll give you
Uh,
the current points that you have for right now.
yeah, but Hockey News Reports is we're starting a new month, so all of the new ones have to be like the old ones. Picks don't matter. We're not adding to the new ones. I suppose I could. Let me see if I can do that if I haven't deleted it already. Yeah, I think I deleted the old ones, so I don't know what the old ones were.
No, but I'm saying he said he resent it. So if he resends it, all you have to do is open that up and then subtract the last month's points totals from the current points
What I'm
total.
saying
And
is I deleted the last month's point totals
so
because we don't need them.
he said that he sent it again.
Okay, no, this was the last month's. Every time whatever you're sending is last month's totals. Okay, that was the totals for last month. I don't know whatever you're sending is last month's totals. It's not from zero. Mercer's got 130, CL's got 119.96.
Okay,
So that's what's happening.
so then here's what you do, Perlo. Okay, so you keep those, and then you start the next month and start putting in
Yeah,
points.
he thinks he's sending me the new month, but I'm not getting the new month. I'm getting
Oh, okay.
the end of last month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's
All
what I'm
right.
saying. So
All right. Well, we'll get it figured out, I'm sure. But
yeah, we gotta head out here now.
yeah, man.
It's been it's time for us to
It's the
go off
fourth.
into. It's time for us to go into the land of watching hockey,
Yes.
and oh, why makes no sense. Playoffs is right around the corner for the plural playoffs. We haven't even talked about that, so we'll have to talk about that Hockey News
Oh, the
Report.
playoffs. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Oh boy.
well, this was good times, my friend.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, are we? Uh,
I
I'd
got
like
a
to get
game
John
tonight.
on here.
What's
We're
that?
doing John's doing one tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, we're doing the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. We're doing that game tonight.
Oh, you're doing that game tonight, the blowout.
Yes. I'm gonna
Yeah,
sit in
and
for that horribleness.
yeah, and then tomorrow night I'm
You're
doing
gonna be in.
Washington and the Rangers.
Ooh, that's gonna be a horrible game too. I think Washington's gonna crush again on that one. I think that's gonna be
Yeah.
a so.
Okay. That's it.
Thanks, thanks
That's our full
everybody.
42 right
Yeah,
there.
man, we really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all very much. Please hit the like and subscribe. You can check Perlo out on the web at www.steelflyers.com/links/NHL Perlo Wisdom. Check his
Hmm.
channel out on YouTube. Also, check him out on Twitter. You can find me on the web at www.steelflyers.com and check me out on Twitter at steelflyers52.
Yeah, and you can check me out again tomorrow right here at this place, 3 to 5. I don't know if I'll have anybody on, but it'll be frolic, that's for sure. That I know there will be frolic. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the hockey tonight. Okay, bye.